Hey, what's going on, everybody? Robert here from the Remote Control. My oh my, this weekend. Definitely San Diego Comic-Con was chock full of information this week. From Marvel to DC to just random things from Warner Brothers and other studios. Definitely a good time to be a nerd. Just saying. But this is going to be part one of a three-part episode or series here. Part one, we're going to cover Marvel specific. Part two, we're going to cover DC specific. And then part three, we're going to cover the miscellaneous, the different things that were announced and shown at Comic-Con. With me today is Brian Keppel from The Far Side.
What's going on, guys?
And, I'm just going to get into it here because there's just so much information. So, like I said, we're going to start with Marvel here, and I'm going to just start with the TV stuff. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The big news, which has been kind of rumored for probably about a month or so now, was that Ghost Rider was coming to the show. Well, it has been confirmed. They will be using a lesser-known Ghost Rider, one that is not a fan favorite, in the name of Robbie Rees. He's a mechanic, and he drives a car and not a motorcycle or a horse, like what people are used to. So he's not going to be like Johnny Blaze, who is portrayed by Nicolas Cage in the films.
The famous Ghost Rider right there.
Yeah. And, the thing with it, Marvel doesn't... They don't do things just to do it. There's always a reasoning behind it. So, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's always been, it's been different than what the films have been. They were using Inhumans for a while. It's going to be interesting how they bring Ghost Rider into this, especially after the events of what happened last season. And with, Skye, now just kind of, gone. She's a rebel. She's not part of the team anymore. Should be interesting. Marvel is claiming that it is going to be their most ambitious season yet, but...
Is that who that chick was in the teaser thing?
Yes, yeah.
Just so everybody knows, I'm not really familiar with the television show. I mean,
it's a good show. The first season had its moments. It took about 15 episodes for the first season to really get good. The second season was slightly better. The third season was a struggle, I think. I struggled to get through that season.
I just feel like they just took, the NCIS or whatever formula, and they just put superhumans into it.
Sort of.
I mean,
it's
I'm
more...
not against it. I'm not, saying it's a bad thing. Yeah, people like it. It's effective. I mean...
It's more of a global threat more than, NCIS, which is just, domestically. I mean, they travel the world, do different things. I still don't like how, while, yes, it is connected to the cinematic universe, there's not much... I mean, there's a lot of references to the cinematic universe, but there's just no connection, or you never see... Well, I can't say never, because we have seen Samuel L. Jackson on the show a couple times, but it still feels separate from that universe. I wish it would connect it a little bit better, but...
It's made for television.
Yeah.
It's, definitely has, that lower quality bit to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's television, what can you do?
Like I said, they have claimed that it is going to be their most ambitious season yet. Usually, TV shows say something like that to get people excited. The new season starts September 20th, so... when it comes, if you're an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, I'm sure you're excited about this news. If you're a Ghost Rider fan, you might be less excited because, again... I
think the reason why I personally wasn't, interested in it was, I caught one episode, and it was, later on, down the road from the beginning, and I didn't know what was going on. And I was just like, oh, man, it's too much for me, And it's kind of like with Walking Dead. I like skipped like one of the entire seasons, and then I tuned back in, and I was just like, I don't even know what's happening. I'm just gonna walk away. You know?
Yeah. You have to invest the time to understand the characters, who they are, where they come from, and why they are like they are. Yeah, it's a show worth watching, but it's not one that I think people need to go out of their way to watch. It's probably people are yelling at me right now. No, it's definitely a great show.
I think maybe it just provides that outlet to have those storylines working in the background, so like stuff can pop up in the films. And then you say, "Oh, well, we covered it in the show." You know,
nothing really pops up in the films from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, it's more family friendly out of Marvel's TV universe, or their shows there. It's definitely a little more family friendly, being that it's on ABC. Whereas there are other shows like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and then the upcoming Luke Cage. They're on Netflix. They're a lot more dark, hardcore. I mean, Christ, Jessica Jones. I mean, they were having sex every other episode in that show. It's
like HBO.
Well, that's what Netflix pretty much is.
Yeah.
But that leads me to Luke Cage here. They dropped a trailer for Luke Cage. It looks fucking fantastic. I'm sorry.
I thought it looked great.
Luke Cage, he was, for those of you who aren't big comic book fans, if you watch Jessica Jones that was on Netflix, he was in that show. He was a pretty big character in that show. I mean, it wasn't like he was just in and out. I mean, he was in a good portion of the episodes. He was Jessica Jones' love interest for quite some time in that show, or in that season, the first season there. And now we're seeing him. And, I mean, he's got super strength. He's basically bulletproof.
He looks like
strong.
He doesn't take anybody's shit at all.
No. And you can see that, again, I know you probably didn't watch Jessica Jones. He was kind of reluctant to use his powers, his abilities, in that show, or during that season. So it's nice to see that he's going
he seems like he's like fed up, and he's just like, you know what, I'm just going to get the job done.
Yeah.
Like in the trailer, like he rips off a car door, and he's using it as like a shield, and then he's just like beating somebody against a wall with it and wrapping it around. Like, that was like, whoa. That took me off guard. I wasn't ready for that. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's cool,
Violent. It's not your typical Marvel, experience. I recommend, if any of you have not watched the shows on Netflix, there's 2 seasons of Daredevil, there's a season of Jessica Jones. Watch those, and while they are all set in the same universe, and they are connected slightly, you don't have to watch one to understand the other, but definitely watch them. It's I say some of the best TV that there is out there right now. But with Luke Cage, I mean, it looks like they're just going to keep with that tone, with the darkness, how dark Jessica Jones and Daredevil has been. They're going to keep that tone, which I really enjoy. Again, it's set in the same world as the cinematic universe. There's not much connection, except for some references to the Avengers at times. But it's I don't know. I'm excited for it. Definitely am.
I think if I get a chance, I'll definitely check that out. It looked really compelling,
Yeah, it's it's going to be.
And it's like, as you said, like a lot of these things, you just gotta take the time out to really see what's happening in that world.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to. You can easily just run through it real quick. I mean, each season's got about 13 episodes in it.
Well, if you're busy or you got something else going on,
everybody has time to binge watch stuff. Damn it.
I only binge watch Star Trek. And
I have
and
a
like Deadwood on HBO.
I have a full-time job and 3 kids. I find time to binge watch my shows. Keeping with Luke Cage here, I mean, Mike Coulter, who plays Luke Cage, is just fantastic. You know, he's just got that menacing, not menacing, but that presence that you're just like, oh, shit's gonna go down.
Has he been in anything else? What else has he been in?
Let's see. He was in the Halo short that they had. It was like a Halo. It's called Halo Nightfall. He played Locke. He was also the voice of the character in Halo 5. Let's see. He was in Zero Dark 30, Salt, Men in Black 3, and $1 Million Baby. So, I mean, he's been in quite a bit.
He's had the nod from Mr. Hollywood for a while now.
Yeah, and he's... I like his acting. I like everything that he's done that I've realized that he's been in. So, definitely excited about that. Now, continuing with the Netflix series, we finally get a little bit of a look of the next big series that they're bringing out called Iron Fist. Do you know anything about Iron Fist, Brian?
I don't know anything about Iron Fist.
Honestly, I mean, prior to the announcement and all this, I didn't know much about Iron Fist. I knew
it just sounds like it's going to be like very kung fu.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much I knew he was a martial artist. But with that, they've kind of... You can see Marvel's moving in a certain direction here with their films and TV shows to add mysticism to it. Iron Fist is not only a martial artist, but he is the wielder of a mystical force known as the Iron Fist. So it kind of allows him to summon and focus his chi. Should be interesting. I mean, you add that to the film...
Like in the trailer, you see him... he's like involved in some kind of accident. He's like in the snow on like some kind of chair or something. I don't know what's happening there. But then there's like these monks standing over him. And I'm like that right there was just like, oh man, he's about to get trained, you know? He's about to be taught some stuff, right? You know, I don't know what that stuff is, but he's going to know it, you know? And then it seemed like it kind of jumped to his future and like because of his abilities, maybe. I'm like piecing this together in my mind. I really don't know what's going on in the story, but you know, I'm watching this trailer and I'm just like, this looks kind of cool, you know? And then like, you don't really get too much information out of it. You just really get like a name, which is Danny, and it seems like somebody from his past is like popping up again, and like he's escaping this facility. I don't know. I was intrigued. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I think that would get me to go and watch the show because there's like that element of mystery, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Marvel's known for not completely sticking to the true origin story of the comic book character. They are keeping his name Danny Rand. But I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm kind of going into Iron Fist kind of blind. I want to be completely taught who this character is there. I'm not doing too much research on who he's been because it looks intriguing to me. You know, I did the same thing with Jessica Jones and absolutely loved that show. Luke Cage, I kind of knew who he was already. Daredevil, who, you know, everybody knows Daredevil from the terrible Ben Affleck film.
Yeah, it was like, man, what's going on here?
But yeah, when it comes to
now he's Batman. What happened?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get into that. Don't worry. But when I was talking about Iron Fist, I mean, Marvel's going the way of the mystical force of the weird, the unknown with Iron Fist, and then Doctor Strange, which we're going to get into shortly here. You know, so that you can see they're adding a different element to their franchise here for their films and TV, which is very interesting. Now, probably what excited people the most when it came to the TV side of Marvel was just a teaser they showed of everything, or something everybody knew was coming up. But it's just nice to finally see that It's in pre-production, and that was the teaser trailer for The Defenders.
Yeah, they didn't really tell you much. They didn't show much. It was just like some kind of hand going down, and then like the voiceover, and it's just like this guy just doesn't totally have faith in whoever he's talking to, and he's just like, "There's only 4 of you, and you're gonna save New York, right?" So
Yeah.
it tells you that they're heroes, even if you didn't know the title was Defenders.
Now,
You know that they're heroes, right?
well,
And they're maybe like they're up against a lot of adversity, and like maybe they don't have their stuff together, and they're new to it or something. I don't know.
well, now here I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Yes, tell me. I don't know.
So I've been talking a lot about all these shows that are on Netflix. Daredevil, Jessica Jones,
Netflix seems like it's the place to be right now for Marvel.
Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. I named 4 characters there. Those 4 characters will make up the Defenders. I don't want to say it like this, but this may help you understand it a little bit better, Brian. It's the Avengers Light. So this is the TV version of what the Avengers were on film.
Are they like the knockoff Fantastic Four?
No, God, no. No. I don't look at the Fantastic. I'm sorry, I've never been a big Fantastic Four fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Never have been. Not because of the films. Again,
I just thought they were
Wait.
like they were even a rip-off of like the X-Men. That's what I always saw. I don't know how it happened chronologically. Like,
well, the Fantastic Four
Every
is known as Marvel's first family. That was kind of in the comics. That was their first. That was their go-to.
because I grew up on the X-Men. That's like my introduction to the comic
that
book.
late
Yeah.
80s, 90s cartoon.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah. X-Men was the stuff back in the day.
But the Defenders will be those 4 characters: Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. That's why they're getting, just like Marvel did with the cinematic universe, they did at least one solo movie before the Avengers. They're doing at least one season of each of these.
And then they're going to do the
characters.
crossover.
And they're going to do the crossover with the Defenders. Now, again, Luke Cage has already crossed over with Jessica Jones. We may see another crossover at some point with Iron Fist. We're not sure yet. There's already 2 seasons of Daredevil, so
You already know it's going to happen.
yeah. I
So
mean,
one way or another, it's going to happen.
yeah. Now, that's look. The Defenders, I think, is going to be awesome. The great thing about these characters, it's so grounded. It takes place in Hell's Kitchen. Like it's a lot more grounded. Like I said, a lot more gritty and dark. And that's what I'm gonna.
It sounds like that kitchen's really hot. Or they just got like some really good food. I don't know.
Yeah, Luke Cage is gonna Luke Cage is gonna be taking place in Harlem, obviously. So it's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. It's exciting. I'm going to have a link to these trailers and different things below, so definitely if you haven't checked them out, go there, watch them, check them out. Fantastic. That's it for TV and Marvel right now. I'm going to jump over to film, and there's a lot of information here. Number one, the first thing that they did was Marvel unveiled a new title card. I felt it was kind of curious, but it looks like they've kind of rebranded, because I think they just did that about 2 or 3 years ago, a new title card.
My immediate impression of the new Marvel Studios logo or title card, how you're putting it, I think that what they were really saying is that they've established like their base universe, and like, you know how it was like the comic book pages before,
Yeah.
and now they have the film characters.
Yeah.
Like, it was really really good. It was really well done.
That's
I
the
liked
thing.
it a lot.
That's
and
the
I
big
think
thing.
what they're saying is, we got our base universe done, and we're really doing our own thing, film wise.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, the old title card, it would be like a ruffling of comic pages, and the logo you would kind of see scenes from different comics in the Marvel logo, and then it would kind of pull back.
And the I don't mean to talk over here.
You're fine.
But like the choice of colors this time around, like before it was like that really, I guess, bright red before, like Marvel, right?
Yeah.
And now, like the choice, like I really saw the blues. They really jumped out at me, like, and I just felt at home with this new logo.
Yeah,
I just felt real comfortable with it,
Yeah, I mean the old one was just red and white completely. That's it. Nothing too spectacular about it. Nothing. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it wasn't.
It was like alive. You know what I mean? Like the comic books have been brought to life. Like, I really liked it. I'm sure there's people like purists out there that don't really like it, but I loved it. I upgraded from like to love. Just now.
But yeah, like I was saying, I mean, it was like the old logo would ruffle through pages and pull back, and you would see Marvel Studios. Now what they've done is something very similar to that. However, it shows footage from the movies, not flipping through pages. So one thing that sticks out to me is you see Black Widow, you see just different scenes from different movies, and it's nice. My whole thing is I think they're really trying to differentiate themselves from the comics now. They're like, look, we got the comics over here, and it's doing their thing. This is the film.
Totally agree. Like, the character that really popped out at me was Captain America.
Yeah.
He just looked great. Like, I don't know. I'm not even really a big Captain America fan, but like, it just looks so good. I don't know.
I mean, that was the start of their panel. They unveiled that. They also started talking a little bit about Black Panther, which is going to start filming in January. Now, if you've watched Captain America: Civil War, you saw Black Panther. Probably one of, if not the best part of that movie was Black Panther, played by Chadwick Boseman. Just fantastic job playing the Wakanda Prince. But some big information that they did announce. First off, they did.
What's this behind this, like, Black Panther stuff? Like, what's his superpower?
He's got strength. He's fast, strong. Have you seen pictures of him, of his costume?
I don't think I have. I just remember, like, the old comic Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean,
he was like the first black comic book character, and it was just like, it was kind of like a big deal,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big deal. He's a prince from a fictional location called Wakanda, African Kingdom Wakanda. Here, I'll just read this real quick here so you understand, because I don't want to lead you the wrong way. His mother died in childbirth, earning him the enduring hatred of his adopted elder brother, Hunter, who also resented T'Challa for supplanting him in the royal household. His brother would eventually become White Wolf, leader of another sect in the universe. I mean,
where's his dad at?
His dad is the king of Wakanda.
Okay.
I don't want to read too much into this, because I know, like I said before,
it's definitely going to change.
Marvel likes to change things a bit.
Yeah.
Spoilers, if you watch Captain America: Civil War, what brought Black Panther what brought him at odds with the Avengers was the fact that his father was killed, seemingly by the Winter Soldier. And then, the whole idea is the Black Panther wants to hunt down the Winter Soldier and kill him for killing his father. Now, if you've seen the movie, you understand how and why everything happened, how it happened.
I could really read into this one, but I'm just not going to do that.
It's, again, definitely see Civil War if you haven't. Black Panther is a standout character. He wears a suit made out of vibranium, which is what Captain America's shield is made out of. So that's why he's kind of bulletproof and different things like that. So there's just a little bit of background on him for you, Brian.
Sounds like a cool suit.
So
then you match with his speed and strength. Like, he's like the anti-Captain America.
He kind of is, yeah. I mean, he's a good guy, though. You know, it's not like he's an anti-hero or anything like that. He's kind of a good guy. A lot of people like to compare him with Batman because he's rich, he has a bunch of money, he's, you know, well-versed in martial arts, but he has kind of those special abilities of being fast and strong, you know, which is slightly different than Batman. And obviously he's not a vigilante. So, but people like to still compare the two. Maybe just because they wear black. I don't know. But
didn't he show up in the 90s cartoon?
Who, Black Panther?
Or am I thinking of... Yeah.
He may have shown up in the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s. I'm not 100% sure, though.
But you know what? It was a different character. Never mind.
Okay.
Because it was... I'm remembering, like, he's like... Batman went to, like, this island and, like... There's, like, these trees and stuff going on. Like, I don't really remember the episode number. But, like, I remember the character very well. And it was, like, this cat person. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Continue on.
All right. With Black Panther, they have confirmed at least four actors that are going to be in the film. Obviously, Chadwick Boseman will be playing Black Panther. We know that. Makes sense. We have heard that Lupita Nyong'o is going to be in it. Now, she's most famous for playing, most recently, Maz Kanata in Star Wars Episode 7. Michael B. Jordan will be in the film as well. He played Creed in the movie Creed. He was also the Johnny Storm in the most recent Fantastic Four movie, which was terrible.
You didn't like that movie?
It was terrible.
I thought it was okay. I mean, it was lacking in the visuals part, but I mean, it was okay. I wouldn't say it was terrible. I mean, I'd say it was like, meh.
I prefer the other version better. Not the Silver Surfer one, but the one before that with...
I just like the younger cast. Like, they were just inexperienced, you know, they're brand new, and, like, they didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
They didn't know about, like, this other universe thing happening you know, like in the story. And they were just, you know, thrown into it.
Now, in my opinion, Michael B. Jordan is an excellent actor. I'm excited to see what they do with him in this. I kind of wish that he went for more of a superhero role himself. Like, I'd like to see him play a superhero, whether it's in Marvel or DC, but I don't think that's the way they're going with it in this. Maybe he's going to play Black Panther's brother, maybe something like that. I don't know. They didn't really delve into what character's playing what, or at least on you know, case-by-case basis. They did talk about this actress, though, and I was shocked to see that she was cast in this movie. Danai Gurira, I think that's how you say her name. Danai Gurira.
I don't know.
Well, if you don't know who she is, she plays Michonne on The Walking Dead. So everybody knows Michonne from The Walking Dead. One of probably the best character on the show. I don't care what anybody says.
Really, like she showed up, she was totally cool. She had like the chained up zombies, and then it was just like, no more chained up zombies.
No, she's still a cool character. I think she's a better character than Daryl. I think she has a lot more depth than Daryl does. Daryl's just kind of gotten to be just lame. I don't know, but we'll get into The Walking Dead later as well.
Silent type kind of thing. Yeah. It only goes so far.
Yeah, but she's going to be playing a character called Okoye, or Okoye, Okoye. I'm not too versed on Black Panther. I never read the comics. Again, going into this with limited knowledge because I want to be odd. I want to be shown something new. That's kind of the idea. And that's what I recommend a lot of people doing. I know that they come out with, right before movies come out, people will throw things on YouTube or on Facebook and say, 5 or 10 things you should know about this character before you see this movie.
And then they're wrong.
Exactly. Then they're wrong 90% of the
It's
time.
like all the Star Wars 7 stuff that was out.
Yeah.
It's just relentless.
Yeah, it is. It's
And of course, being a Star Wars fan, I ate it all up, you know? And it was all of it wrong. I was like, ugh.
I did too.
So wrong.
Now, again, I am big on spoilers. I'd like to be spoiled. I'm weird.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, like a little background going into it. It doesn't hurt.
But I don't want to read something and be like, oh, wow, that's pretty badass, and then go to the movie and it doesn't happen at all. That's what I don't want to have happen. So, but yeah, that's Black Panther. Looking forward to that. Again, it starts filming in January, so we're looking at probably a 2018 release for that film. Moving on to a movie that is currently in production, Thor Ragnarok. Again, a new logo was revealed for this. It seems that with the new title card for Marvel Studios, they are releasing new title cards for each of their upcoming movies now. To me, it's very 80s-esque, very different from the original logo that they had. And here's the big difference. In the original logo, Thor was the biggest word, and Ragnarok was kind of small underneath. They kind of flipped it. Now Thor, which is still on top, is smaller, but Ragnarok is the big, like, boom, like, it's Ragnarok. So
yeah, you're going into Thor's home world. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've been to Asgard. Thor's from Asgard. That's not, he's not from Ragnarok or, anything like that.
But there's so much stuff going on in this one. It's just like, what is happening?
There's some different things that have been released. Mark Ruffalo, which I mentioned in a previous episode of the Remote Control, Mark Ruffalo has been kind of throwing things out on Twitter and social media and stuff like that of the production, So we know that the Hulk is going to be in this movie, and what's really cool is, everybody wants to see Planet Hulk or wants to see him fighting in space. Well, there's some there's some armor that was seen at Comic-Con. It was the Hulk's gladiator armor. Very cool, with a big battle axe and stuff like that. But why does Hulk need armor? It just looks cool, alright? Who doesn't want to see Hulk dressed up in armor and battle armor? He doesn't need it. It just looks badass. So,
yeah.
The biggest shock here, I fully expected Marvel to come in here and change the release date for Thor, because as of right now, it's due to come out next November. Not this November, next November. November of 2017. I'm surprised they didn't change the release date. I mean, it's still possible they do in the future, but that's the same month that DC is releasing Justice League. So, kind of shocking that they're not moving. Maybe they're expecting DC to move Justice League, and they're just going to, kind of like what they did with Captain America Civil War. They announced Captain America Civil War and put it on the same day that Batman vs Superman was supposed to come out, and DC blinked first and moved Batman vs Superman. So, again, it's still a long ways away. It may change, but it might be kind of a bad idea, because I think they're come out within 2 weeks of each other, and that might not work out in favor of Thor. Thor has not been the big money maker for Marvel.
I feel like they were just like, they were sitting there writing, they were just like, I don't really know how else Thor fits into the rest of this, so let's just create this whole other world going on.
Well, the Thor films, I mean, this is the third film in the Thor franchise. The first film was excellent. It felt like a big budget, low budget film, if that makes any sense. There wasn't a lot of locations, but when they're on Asgard, it just looks tremendous, beautiful.
Who was the director?
The director of the first Thor?
Yeah.
Google, Don't fail me now.
I think like the guy was like maybe new to directing. Like I'm just giving you my impression. It was just like a junior director maybe.
Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't really.
I don't think anybody knows who that is.
Yeah,
well, I'm sure there's people out there that know who he is.
People are probably freaking out. Oh, he's done this. He's done this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know they're going not straight now.
No, it was a good movie, and the casting for everybody was spot on. And again, the first Thor really opened up the Marvel universe. Not open it up because I know when you look at Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk, those are kind of the two that started the cinematic universe. But
Thor was like my first comic book I ever had.
Really?
And I didn't like the movie.
You didn't see?
I didn't like the movie. I mean, Thor was my shit, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was like totally awesome. He had the hammer, and he was just like had the helmet going on. It was just like, yeah, Thor. You know?
Yeah. I liked it. I was a fan of it.
I was like 10 at the time, so yeah.
I think because it introduced us to Loki, who ended up being the main villain of the first Avengers movie. I think that's why I liked it, and so many other people liked it as much as we have.
I think maybe the reason why I was like disappointed because like Loki really wasn't that great of a villain. I couldn't identify with him. I identify with all the villains, and he was like the one I was just like, I just don't get him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's essentially just a whiny kid. Why doesn't Daddy love me as much
like
as you?
Scrawny, like he just like I don't know.
No, I see what you mean. I understand. I do. I get it. But again,
like,
I like.
When I think of Loki, that isn't what I thought of what Loki should be. But
again,
I mean, I don't know.
well, again, I mean, with the cinematic universe, they do make changes. They don't stay true to the comics because they have to make it their own thing. That's some comic book fans just don't understand that. Sometimes they want these, filmmakers to stay true to what the core material is, but sometimes it just doesn't transition well to film, and sometimes you have to change it up to make it interesting. I don't want to go and watch an exact replica of the comics that I enjoy,
Yeah, that's true.
So you want to see something different, and even in comics they change things up every once in a while. I mean, how many different versions of Spider-Man are there? How many different versions of Iron Man are there?
Like they relied like on the dark, I don't know, like just made them all like black and dark and like sickly looking, like he was like a heroin addict or something. Like what was going on with this Loki? That's just me. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. But moving off of Thor here, not the big reveal. It's kind of a big reveal. Doctor Strange, which is due out this November, I believe.
I think this is going to be like a huge blockbuster.
Well,
I think Doctor Strange is going to be like one of those cult movies. Like it won't maybe like do well in the theaters because people will just, I don't know, maybe they just won't get that. Yeah, it's American culture. But I think overseas it'll be huge because it's Eastern religion kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know, like people like The Matrix, people like Inception.
And that's a lot of what it to me, it reminds me of Inception, but with a more mystical core,
Yeah, totally agree.
Again, the first trailer that they released, I want to say it was probably about 3, 4, 5 months ago, something like that. I was not interested at all. It just, first off, I'm not a big Benedict Cumberbatch fan. Cumberbatch? I'm not a big Cumberbatch fan. I always
people like him.
I don't know why.
I liked him in Star Trek.
I wasn't a big fan of that last Star
he looked
that Star Trek film, but
like synthetic, which he was like supposed to be like that super soldier kind of thing that they made, and like I thought he fit that role really well. This one, he looks like a sophisticated, maybe like a British doctor or whatever. I don't know if he's supposed to be British.
Well, he is a doctor. That's good. Hence the name Doctor.
Like they got the basis of the Doctor Strange story done well.
Yeah.
In the preview, the trailer, and they tell you basically what happened to him. His base story, his hands got ruined. He's in an accident. He's sitting there with the pins and stuff, and then he's in the temple in Tibet, which isn't in Tibet now because it's the Chinese market and the politics with Tibet and all that. And who knows where it's at? Maybe it's Kashmir, Budapest. Who knows? But the visuals, I think that will be enough to distract people who aren't familiar with mysticism enough to, it'll provide a balancing act for the the viewing audience.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good. Doctor Strange, just like the whole idea, like the mysticism and all that, I think it's great.
Yeah,
I think we need more stuff like that.
Well, again, like I said earlier when we were talking about Iron Fist, they're moving in a different direction here with their properties. They want to add a different layer of something that we haven't seen yet. I mean, we've gone to a world where we see gods with Thor. We've gone to the far reaches of the galaxy in Guardians of the Galaxy. We've seen super soldiers fight. We've seen billionaires build armor and fight. We've seen scientists turn into giant green monsters. Now we're going to see some mysticism, and I think it's definitely a much needed change from what we've seen. I personally have felt that Marvel was starting to get a bit stale. Phase 2 of the films, it didn't do it for me. Age of Ultron wasn't that good. Iron Man 3 wasn't that good. Ant-Man was decent, but it just felt like a rehash of Iron Man 1 with a little bit more humor.
Yeah.
Now Civil War, whether that's the end of Phase 2 or the start of Phase 3, however you want to look at that, Captain America was a good film, and it was definitely a nice, okay, maybe they're getting back to what they were trying to get to. But now we're getting something different with Doctor Strange, and I am a little more excited about it now after seeing this trailer. Like I said, the first trailer didn't do it for me. I'm not a big Cumberbatch fan, and I think that's why, but I am curious to see all the mysticism and the directing style. I'm also excited to see the villain, Mads Mikkelsen. He's a fantastic actor, absolutely fantastic actor, and I'm hoping that
I'm having this feeling that I'm gonna really like this villain.
Yeah, he's playing Caligulus or Caligula. I can't say the name. Freaking weird fucking names. But he looks menacing, and Mads Mikkelsen is good at playing a villain.
I bet you everything he says makes total sense to me. I totally agree with that, I always go with the villain. What can I say? And
if you don't know who Mads Mikkelsen is, he did play Hannibal on the TV show Hannibal. He's actually in 2 big movies this year. The first one being Doctor Strange in November, and then he will be in December in Rogue One. So he's really getting himself out there this year. So, again, looking forward to Doctor Strange. I think it's going to be interesting. Very Inception-esque. I like that. I loved Inception. The visuals. Oh, man. It looks good. Definitely looks good. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, or Volume 2. Yet again, another...
I can't wait. Can't wait. The Guardians of the Galaxy one was like, yeah.
Yeah, great, definitely.
Great, dude. You know what I mean? And just so good.
Fantastic film. I mean, it just is. I'm not one of the ones sitting here saying, "Oh, it's the new Star Wars." It's definitely up there. It may be the best Marvel movie, or at least one of the top 3. Maybe one day we'll have what's our top 5, or rank all the different Marvel films. We'll do something like that at some point. But in my opinion, the first Guardians is up there for sure.
I'm all about the space capers, like the space adventure,
Yeah.
and like the first one, it really like fulfilled my movie going needs.
Yeah, the crazy thing about it is it's a movie that no one knew that they wanted.
I didn't know anything about it.
I mean, who would have thought
Guardians
that...
of the Galaxy, I never even heard of it. Like, I'm not like a big comic book person.
Yeah.
And everybody out there is probably like, what do you mean? How do you not know about that? I didn't. All right. Give me a break.
I was worried about the movie because I was like, come on, we're going to have a walking tree. The last time I saw walking trees, it was in Lord of the Rings, and I fucking hated it. So I was like, I don't know about this. So, then you had a talking raccoon.
I didn't fall in love with Groot until, like, the very end with Baby Groot.
With Baby Groot, yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And I was just like, I totally get Groot now.
And
like,
what's awesome is they showed a picture of the crew, and you have little baby Groot on Drake's shoulder. Drake, is it Drac? Drake? I can't remember. Anyways, sitting on his shoulder. So it's going to be Baby Groot in the movie, which is awesome because everybody fell in love with Baby Groot. Again, Rocket Raccoon's back. Peter Quill, played by, what's his face? I just lost his name here. Oh, well. But he's back. The whole crew's back. Now, the big announcement, and obviously we know that 2 other actors are in the film. Sylvester Stallone's going to be in it. Still not sure who he's playing. But Kurt Russell is also in the movie.
Oh, yeah, the law.
He's not playing Dredd.
He should. Dude, we totally need another Dredd movie.
Well, you saw that.
I don't mean to sidetrack it, but...
You did see the last one that was made, right?
Dude, that was so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that they're pushing for one.
Yeah, there's a big fan movement trying to get a new Dredd movie.
Yeah.
And there's talks, like, from what I'm reading, but I totally took us off on a different path there. Maybe we should get back to what we were talking about.
Let's get back to Kurt Russell's role in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It has finally been confirmed that Kurt Russell will play Ego the Living Planet. Little backstory on Ego the Living Planet. He does take human form, and he is also the father of Star-Lord, Peter Quill. So, that was what was speculated for quite some time.
Star-Lord's supposed to be Space Jesus?
I honestly, I don't know.
Like, his planet's a dad, or his dad's a planet, I mean?
His dad's a planet. His planet's a dad?
His planet's a dad. This should be like a t-shirt.
I really... I'm just like envisioning the shirt. Like, that'd be badass shit.
Hashtag his planet's a dad.
That's that. Yep, there you go. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited to see where they're going with this.
I think it'll be a hit no matter what.
Yeah, definitely will be.
And as always, the second movie of a trilogy is always the best.
Yeah,
I know you disagree with me on that, maybe, but I always think the second movie of every trilogy is the best.
More often than not, it is. Definitely more often than not. So, because by the second movie, everything's been established. You don't have to build the characters. We know who they are. We know where they come from. Now it's just getting to the story. I think that's why.
Yeah, the character building's out of the way. That's true.
Now, I'm kind of torn on what next to cover here because it's kind of 2 big things. I think I'm going to skip over this and come back to that. Spider-Man Homecoming. That is coming out next July.
Man, another Spider-Man.
Played by Tom Holland. Again, if you've seen Captain America Civil War, you would understand why people are so excited about this movie. They finally got Spider-Man right. Finally have gotten him right.
People love Spider-Man, though.
True, but those last 2 Spider-Man movies were crap.
Even then, it was, like, still big.
Actually, I'll say the last 3 Spider-Man movies were crap, because the third Raimi one was just terrible. But there was some...
I'm convinced Peter Parker's gay. How do you not kiss Mary Jane?
When did he not kiss Mary Jane?
Like in the first one, he's like upside down. It's like, come on, man.
He did kiss her.
Already.
He did.
Yeah, but he was all like gay about it. Like, come on, man.
That was cinematic purposes, buddy.
I just remember being really high when I watched that, and I was just like, man, what's going on here?
Now, they did show some footage of Spider-Man Homecoming, just short little clips. Unfortunately, it was not released to the public as of yet. There is some concept art available for everyone to see, but the big reveal was the Vulture. That it looks like he's going to be not just the main villain, but one of the main villains in the film, because they've pretty much confirmed that there's going to be multiple villains in the movie. Shocker. That's kind of what they do now. So I'm excited about it. They'd also confirmed...
Do you think it's like weakness on the writer's side?
No, I think that anymore with, like, I would say yes. If it was 10, 15 years ago, I would say yes. It's weakness on the writer's side. But I think today, the writers and movie and filmmakers, they know how to juggle multiple villains in a film. It's not like it used to. I mean, come on, take a look at Batman and Robin. That movie was just horrendous. With
dude, that was a nightmare.
With Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy, Bane. Am I missing anybody? I don't know. That movie was just horrible.
Poison Ivy, Bane,
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Is that it? I don't know. I can't remember. I tried to take that movie.
Was the Riddler in that one?
No, that was the Batman Forever, and it was...
That was even worse. Jesus Christ.
But they did confirm that Michael Keaton will be in Spider-Man Homecoming, which I'm excited about. Michael Keaton is...
I'm just glad that he's getting a home. A home? What am I talking about?
A home?
It's like sure making a comeback.
Yeah, he definitely is. The cool thing about a little background on Brian and me here, Michael Keaton actually grew up in our hometown. So our gym teacher in high school...
His real name is actually Michael Douglas.
It is. And
he drinks up at the Pine.
Yeah, when he's
you can catch him up there every once in a while.
But our gym teacher, or I don't know if it was yours, but one of our gym teachers is his sister-in-law. So it was really cool to, I used to go to the school that he went to, so it was pretty cool. So it's nice to see when somebody from our hometown is making it, and he definitely made it years ago, but he's making a comeback. Mm-hmm. So that's what's exciting about it.
I just really enjoy his comedy, really.
Oh, he's done so much. He's so diverse.
And Birdman.
Oh, fantastic!
That movie was so good.
Fantastic. He got screwed.
He had a really great supporting cast with that too.
He got screwed out of the Academy for that. He should have won. I don't understand it.
I like how it was I don't know what the term is, but it felt like they allowed the characters to go on their own and develop the story independently. They gave the actors maybe just a background what their character is, and they just let it go and let the film just do whatever it wanted to do. Yeah. I like the camera work. It felt like it was one continuous shot the entire time.
Yeah, it did feel like that.
It was phenomenal. I loved it. The whole thing, the style, the acting, the story, the premise, everything was great.
Yeah, excellent film. But again,
that film will go down as a legend.
It definitely should. If you haven't checked it out, watch Birdman. Excellent movie. It may not be for everyone. It's a little artsy, but definitely a good movie. Now the big moment of the panel was almost like a throwaway little thing that happened. At the end of the panel, Kevin Feige, who is the overseer of all things Marvel Studios, wanted to pull everyone who had been at the panel from Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, all of them. He grabbed all of the characters and said, you know what, let's take a big photo here. Let's just take a big photo. And as everybody was coming out, and I'm paraphrasing here, I'm not saying what he exactly said, he goes, but there's one more thing. If we're going to get everybody here, let's get our newest member out here. Captain Marvel herself, Brie Larson. And that's right, Brie Larson has now been confirmed as Carol Danvers, who plays Captain Marvel. It's been rumored that she was going to be the one playing Captain Marvel. Brie Larson, while she doesn't have a big history in film, or she has a big history, but not in a lot of known things.
So this is like Marvel's cherry on top?
Yeah, pretty much. She is an Academy Award winning actress. From 2015's The Room. She'll be in Kong Skull Island in 2017. She's been in different movies. She's done comedy.
We got apes on motherfucking island.
We're going to get into that later on. But she's been in a bunch of different things, from comedy to dramas to TV, thing. She's definitely a good actress to pick. And she seems to fit the role, and she is owning it. I mean, she was excited after her unveiling. There's a picture or a Vine or something, a little thing of her going back to her car, and you can see the smile on her face, wearing a Marvel Studios hat. So Marvel's just great at picking, what actors or actresses can play each role, and they
can do it because they have the portfolio of films,
Yeah. The biggest thing with Captain Marvel is we still don't know when she's going to be seen in the movie, in any movie. Are they going to hold her off until her standalone movie, Captain Marvel, or are they going to bring her in prior to that in one of the other Avengers films? Don't know yet. The fact that they've cast her at this point makes me believe that she's going to be in or is already filmed the part for an upcoming movie or something like that, but we'll see. But that's Marvel. I mean, Marvel had a big night Saturday night. They followed DC, which we're going to get into here in the next volume or episode of this here.
Hey, DC, get your shit, put it in a bag, and get it together.
Well,
get your shit and get it together.
Once we go over everything, I think you'll see that DC has their shit together here. So I am definitely looking forward to getting into the next episode here. Marvel did an excellent job this Comic-Con. Some people kind of think that this could be one of the last Comic-Cons that Marvel goes to, at least Marvel Studios goes to, because they're such an established entity now. And
we'll have the Marvel Con.
Well, they already do different things. Like they had their own press junket or something like that when they announced Phase 3 of the cinematic universe. There's also, Disney has their own expo called D23 every year that they go to. So Comic-Con may be toned down a little bit from Marvel in the coming years. They've pretty much whipped it out, showed everybody what they got, and they're like, hey, we know you like it, so...
Yeah, we'll see how they perform under pressure, though.
Yeah. They haven't had much pressure yet, but it looks like they could with the next couple years and with what DC's doing. So, again, we're going to get into that here, in a few minutes. Brian and I are going to get into it in a few minutes here. So, if you liked what you heard here, subscribe to us down at the bottom, or
and
on
by
iTunes.
Minutes, we mean another click on another video.
Yes. We're doing this because it's just there's just so much to handle. So definitely just subscribe to us if you like what you're hearing. I also am going to be doing a couple reaction and review videos for some of the trailers that were released for Marvel. I haven't gotten to them yet, but I will be getting to them over the next few days. But look out for that, and definitely follow us on Twitter. For the remote control, it's at the remote control. However, the last O in control you have to remove, so it's the remote control, CONTRL. So it's this has been Robert and Brian from the remote control, and we'll see you in a little bit here.